Hey Rebels, my name is Matthew Barton. Welcome to the Rebellion Brewing Podcast. Today's episode is all about role models and mentors, the people who've made a difference in our lives. Whether it's been a kind word or sage advice, who's that person to you? Amy Noureldin, the Director in Development and Communications with Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Regina, says they're making a big difference in the lives of their little brothers and sisters. So let's get into it. Amy, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Yeah, happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
How's it going?
It's going well. It's cold, but I'm okay. It's good. It's all right.
So cold.
So cold. What we do.
I guess first off, talk to me like I'm 6 and I've never ever met you or heard of you. Who are you and what do you do?
So my name is Amy, and I have worked with Big Brothers Big Sisters since 2009. So sometimes the joke is that I was born here. And I love the organization. I love the impacts that we have on kids. I love the people that come through the door wanting to make a difference in the life of a child, and then just knowing that, what we're doing is literally changing kids' lives and making our community a better place. There's no better feeling.
I know last time I had a representative from Big Brothers Big Sisters on the podcast, we were talking about the positive economic impact.
Yes.
And how much money was saved simply by helping young people with mentorship and pieces like that. Do we have some fresh stats? Like, what's that good news?
Yeah, you're not wrong at all. So what we say is that, obviously our programming is proactive. And so kids that match with a mentor, down the road have tremendous outcomes compared to kids that don't have a mentor within our programs. And the social return on investment is 23 to 1. So for every $1 that is invested into our mentoring programs, we return $23 to society. And that's through, kids that are mentored grow up to have complete high school, go on to post-secondary, get better jobs, get higher paying jobs, give back more to our community themselves, both in time and money. And just, it's this beautiful cycle that continues. They volunteer more and, give back to the community that helped them out.
How many bigs and littles are in the Regina program?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we've got about 44 matches right now in our traditional program, and then about 14 in our in-school mentoring program.
And is it kind of grow and shrink with what's going on? I'm assuming COVID's been a challenge.
COVID has been a challenge, of course. So we're really proud of our mentors. They stepped up in a big way to continue to meet with their mentor or mentees, virtually. So whether that was, texting or FaceTime or Zoom, like the whole gamut, or socially distant, it's been that kind of whatever people are comfortable with, they do. We're doing all of our screening and our training of mentors and families virtually still. And so we're missing that connection. We personally as staff are missing that connection with that in-person connection. We're making it work and doing the best we can and still matching kids. Certainly, we're always in need of mentors, especially men. Our wait list is big, and the majority of those kids are boys.
So guys who are interested in being a role model or a mentor, a big brother.
Correct.
They're in great demand.
Great demand. Always. All over the country. No matter where you are, please reach out to your local Big Brothers Big Sisters agency.
I guess from my perspective, I've already got 2 boys, busy dad, busy life. What is kind of like the big selling point of being a big brother?
Yeah, that's a great question, because I think that there's a lot of thoughts that it is, this, you have to have XYZ credentials, you have to, have all of this time, you have to, have all the right answers and, never make a mistake and do the right things. And that none of that is true. Like 100% none of that is true. Lived experience is what we're going for here. We don't, the beauty of this program is that our volunteers aren't teachers, therapists, social workers, the parent, it's just that you want to spend time with a child because you think they're cool and you think that, they are deserving of time and attention and that, that consistent role model. We don't want you to have all the right answers. We want you guys to learn and grow together, experience new things. We want a couple of hours, 2 to 4 is kind of our baseline. We know that life is busy. We know that people get sick and take vacations and have other priorities. And all we need is that consistent communication, saying like, hey, I probably am not going to be able to hang out with you this week, but I cannot wait until next week. This is what we're going to do, or what should we do next week? It's I think a little bit different if you do have young kids. That probably isn't the best time to volunteer because certainly your kids and your family is your priority, and we don't want anything to come in between that. But that being said, we do have mentors right now that do have kids and are super happy to include them in their activities with their kids sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes. And just it's not necessarily about making time or finding the time. It's just including them in your life, and it becomes a friendship like any other friendship that you have in your life, and you look forward to hanging out with them and pumped to get to be a kid again.
So what are they doing? Are they playing hockey or getting the Pokemon cards together? What's really going on?
Yes and yes. We match based on compatibility, interests, personality, things that you like to do. So if you are a super active person and don't really want to spend your time playing video games, then we're not going to match you with a kid whose favorite thing is video games. We will match you with someone that wants to get outside and be active with you, and vice versa. We want to make the match the best that it possibly can be, and so that there has to be some common interests there at the foundation.
Do you have like a favorite story from the program? I mean, you've been there since 2009. You've got to have something in your back pocket that just like hits you right in the heart and says, this is why I get up every single day and do this.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly have a ton of them. I think certainly my favorite is when I became a big sister. So I, did the behind the scenes or from the agency perspective. But then becoming a big sister was, it just everything that I had been talking about made sense. And I was able to kind of, really, really understand the commitment and the impact and just that, you don't have to be anything but yourself and have fun. I mean, I did so many fun things with my little and have so many fun memories of, I taught her to ride a bike, like crazy. It just is such a small thing, but so cool. And she is I was with Big Brothers Big Sisters of Grand Prairie for 5 years, and so that's where they are now. And I talk to their mom and kind of reminisce often about the times that we spent together, and it's a feeling that never goes away, for sure. A relationship that never goes away.
So you still talk with your little sister?
I talk to their mom, and
okay.
Yeah.
And you think you're just never going to forget. Like, I remember my little guy, I'm chasing him down the sidewalk with the bike, and he's like, hang on to the seat. I'm like, I've got you. And I'm not holding on. I'm just trying not to die as I'm chasing the bike.
Yes. Yeah, no, that's exactly it. They had training wheels on the bike, and that was hard. It was a struggle to go for a bike ride. And so I said, Kate, we're going to get your bike and and we're going to like do away with these training wheels. And it was scary at first. And then it was, they picked it up and it was, I can do this. And it was, like seeing the joy and the, like the confidence and the feeling of accomplishment was like, I will never forget that for sure.
Very good friend of mine is a big brother, and he's trying to set up Dungeons and Dragons online. And he came to me and he's like, do you want to host a Dungeons and Dragons online? I'm like, I don't have time to do the big brother thing, but I'll certainly like help you build out an adventure and all these modules, because it's a lot of work to build D&D. And he goes, I think it's going to be really great as soon as we get this off the ground. Yeah.
I mean, and that, like, Matthew is another great example. Like, we have the traditional program that I was just speaking of, that is a significant time commitment, like not going to sugarcoat that whatsoever, both time and emotional commitment. But the activity that you are, or the group that you are taking part in, I mean, we have lots of opportunities like that. Our big group activities, we call them, are twice a month random things that we do with the kids, both that have mentors and kids on the wait list. So if you only want to, you've only got a couple of hours a month, sweet, come hang out. We'll go, you can play Dungeons and Dragons. You can go tubing, at Mission Ridge. We'll go to the Science Center. Like there's endless opportunities to get involved for sure.
What do you think are like the 2 or 3 big activities that bigs and littles are taking advantage of right now?
Oh, wow. Video games for sure, because that can be like, played virtually. And I mean, in the winter, it's tough. We took the kids skating at Iceville. We got some free tickets. And so that, I think, is promoting some of those outdoor activities, because, we've got the winter, we've got the cold, we've got the snow, either enjoy it or don't, right? The snow will still be there whether or not you're enjoying it.
I didn't know Evraz Iceville was giving away free tickets. That's kind of neat.
Yeah. We have a great relationship with the Real Association, and so they gave us some tickets for the kids. So that was great. Yeah.
That's deadly.
Yeah. I mean, and like that just is one tiny example of our amazing community that we live in. There's tons of very generous people and businesses that are, have rallied around us for sure during COVID, because we know that this is really hard on everybody, and kids most especially.
Oh man, I'm thinking immediately like go-karts and laser tag and, like laser tag. I mean, that's perfect for a little guy.
Right? Legitimately, that is, like that's what you can do. Absolutely. Yeah. Anything you want, you can do.
If someone wants to get involved or learn more about your programming, where should they go?
Our website for sure. We're on Facebook, Instagram. We have a Twitter account. I don't really use it. Sorry. Or you can just give us a call. I mean, if you Google Big Brothers Big Sisters of Regina, we're there. It's BBBS Regina for all of our handles. If you even have questions, like reach out. We would love to have a conversation with you. If now is not the right time for you, that's okay. We'll be here. In Regina, we've been around this is our 51st year. Big Brothers Big Sisters in general has been around since 1904. So we're a staple. We're not going anywhere. We'll be there when you're ready.
Amy, it's been great talking to you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. I really appreciate your time and the opportunity to spread the message.
Cheers. Rebels, thanks for listening today. If you have any questions or comments about this episode, be sure to join us on our brand new Facebook group page, The Rebellion Brewing Podcast. I'm going to include links to all things Big Brothers Big Sisters Regina in the show notes and on social media. Be sure to check them out. I'm also proud to let you know that we're members of the Saskatchewan Podcast Network. It's a one-stop shop for tons of locally produced shows from across our province. You can find them at saskpodcastnetwork.com. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Untappd so you don't miss out on the latest in SaaS craft beer news. Thank you for joining the rebellion.